Hello and welcome to another MEAPA video. As a pioneering brand, MEAPA is a global training company that teaches individuals and organizations how to think more effectively in order to succeed in the world's most competitive century. This video takes a look at the MEAPA Way, our employee training program. Is your organization as competitive as you need it to be? Are your employees as effective as they can be? Well, MEAPA's training philosophy is an entity will only grow as much as its people grow. The MEAPA Way, or Employee Training Program, consists of 3 steps that any organization can implement immediately to help their employees grow both personally and professionally, that in turn will help the organization succeed today. Employees need to assess, and then identify, and then utilize. So we'll look at each step just briefly here. So let's take a look at step 1, the assessment. All employees are asked to not only think about what they think about, but also to think about how they think about things and how they arrive at the conclusions that they have. Now, this how process is known as the path. Each employee travels down a specific path to arrive at a specific conclusion. For MEAPA, the path stands for a personal assessment of traits and habits. Now, this personal assessment of traits and habits is for all employees of any level in any type of organization. And what we do, we ask them to fill out a series of 20 questions, such as how often are you comfortable at being uncomfortable? How often do you create a vision for your life? How often do you rebound from failure? How often do you practice self-discipline? And how often do you discuss new ideas or viewpoints? And all told, there are 20 traits and habits that employees are asked to assess. And this is very, very critical. These are not to identify strengths and weaknesses, but just the amount of frequency that they practice each specific trait or habit. So that's phase 1, assessing how often they practice specific traits or habits. Now we move on to part 2 of the MEAPA Way, the employee training program. So this is to identify, and this is really important here. This is for all departments: sales and marketing, customer service, product development, project management, and finance. All have tasks to do. So employees in all of those departments can use the MEAPA Way. So now, whereas phase 1, part 1, asked them to assess their traits and habits, part 2 here asks all employees of all departments to identify the tasks that they do. Do they write reports, make presentations, come up with ideas for new products, do analysis, conduct market research, engage in social media, train new employees, work with customers, manage individuals, and of course all the various other tasks. So all employees in all departments and all types of organizations, businesses, communities, schools, and so forth, have tasks to do. So they need to identify what those specific tasks are. That's part 2. And part 3 of the MEAPA Way to train employees is to utilize MEAPA's tools. Now, this toolbox is very unique, very dynamic, and very impactful. So the MEAPA Toolbox is an online wiki, actually, that is available for anyone that has purchased the MEAPA Way workbook and has signed up to participate in the MEAPA Way employee training program. So to show you how to utilize the tools to help an entity grow and help its individuals grow, what we're going to do is look at one example where personal growth drives professional growth to help the organization achieve the level of competitiveness it needs to succeed today. So let's take a look at an example. So in part 1 of your assessment, you discovered that you very rarely discuss new ideas. Remember, it's not a strength or weakness, it's just that you don't practice discussing new ideas very often. And you've identified a task. You're going to redesign the quarterly report. So you've assessed your traits and habits, you've identified a task, now you're going to utilize one of MEAPA's tools. So we're going to click on here. We're going to visit the MEAPA Toolbox online. We're going to go online and we're going to find the tool or the trait or habit that you want to work on, which is respect and discuss new ideas, which is right here. So these are the 20 traits and habits. And you're going to click on this. And then it's going to give you another web page which lists all of the tools available to help you improve your practice of respecting and discussing new ideas. And for this situation here, an example, we're going to click on the light bulb. And here we have the actual tool, the light bulb tool. Now this is really important because each tool has 3 parts. Actually 4 parts if you include the top part here. What this does is it links the tool to other traits and habits. So here the light bulb is a tool that people can use if they want to work on other traits and habits such as rebounding from failure, believing in yourself when others do not, and communicating your value. So that would be part 1. Second part here is on the far left side where we have the picture and then a quote from the person involved with the tool itself, and in this case it's Thomas Edison, who said many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. The middle part here is an explanation of the tool itself, and here we have a little discussion about Thomas Edison, and when a New York Times reporter asked him how does it feel to have failed 700 times, Edison responded, I have not failed 700 times. I have not failed even once. I have succeeded in proving that those 700 ways will not work. When I have eliminated the ways that will not work, I will find the way that will work. So this is an interesting way of looking at the idea of failure. And then on the third component here, we have on the far right an exercise with a series of questions. So you can click on this link, and that brings you to another website where you would watch a video and then answer the questions. Now, when you've used that tool, now this is really important here, you're going to go back into your workbook, the MEAPA Way, and ask yourself, okay, I assessed myself, I've identified the task, I've used a tool, and now that's the process, and we're going to have an outcome. The outcome is tag. I've learned to think more effectively by using that tool of the light bulb, examining Thomas Edison's approach, looking at how he played with new ideas. I've taken action because I've then plugged that new idea into my work, and I've asked people for ways in which we could redesign a quarterly report, and I've grown both personally and professionally in order to do that. So that tag is very important. Now that task, the redesign of the quarterly report, is instrumental in the company. So what happens then is that it completes the circle, and an entity will only grow as much as its people grow, and that is the outcome, where you've completed the process, you've assessed, identified, and utilized, and then the outcome is an employee that has thought more effectively, taken action, and grown both personally and professionally, so that that task is done more effectively to help the organization. And at the end of the day, each organization needs to have employees that are able to think more effectively, take action, and grow both personally and professionally so that the organization itself can continue to grow and stay competitive. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please visit www.meapa.com for additional information on the MEAPA Way and our other training products and services. Thank you very much and have a great day.